actually, inflation is at 10%. If you use the calculation method that they did in the United States back in 1980, inflation is at 10%. And if you want to see that story, we would be happy to send it out to you. In fact, Harold touched on inflation, and in Canada, the inflation numbers came out at a 30-month high of 3.3%. And that is a lot higher than, obviously, the Bank of Canada would like it. The big story this week, and this was one of the reasons we saw, obviously, beyond the short covering, but a huge move in precious metals. The United States was put on a negative outlook. Standard & Poor's puts negative outlook on the United States and their long-term debt rating, and they actually cited a material risk. The nation's leaders will fail to deal with a rising budget deficit and debt. And obviously that sent shudders through the market for a few days. In the United States, their debt is now $14.3 trillion for the first time, and they are actually days away from hitting their debt ceiling. And if they hit their debt ceiling, they're going to have to raise it. And that's where the next battle begins in the United States Congress, in the Senate and the House. How much do they raise it? Some people are saying they need $2 trillion. Others are saying $1 trillion. But we know one thing for sure: the debt is going substantially higher. This week on the silver side of things, this is via Ed Steer, who lives in Edmonton, writes for Casey Research, and he's a board member with GATA. This is a quote from Ted Butler. All the facts point toward silver not being in a speculative bubble and being in a tight physical structure with a giant short position. Until there is compelling evidence to the contrary, the likely path of silver prices is higher, much higher. Also, from the same two sources, Ted Butler, and that's via Ed Steer, Ted Butler saying, against the backdrop of a surging silver price, the calls for a sharp sell-off continue unabated. As I previously reported, almost all of those calling for a sharp correction seem to share a commonality, namely, a disbelief in the silver manipulation. I think this is a crucial observation. Let me stipulate that first, that there can be a correction in the price of silver, regardless of whether it has been manipulated or not, but nothing can be more important to the future direction of silver prices than in understanding whether this market has been manipulated. To those who don't believe silver has been manipulated in price, it's hard to see how the price won't collapse. Those who believe that silver has been manipulated, like me, know that the price will explode when the manipulation is terminated. That's a clear line of demarcation. And that's one thing that Ted Butler has said for a long time. He's done excellent work along with GATA and other people in this field. Bart Chilton, as I mentioned off the top of the show, coming out, he's a member of the CFTC in the United States, coming out and mentioning manipulation and companies. And that's right around the time we saw quantitative easing too. And all these things have culminated in silver going up dramatically higher. But the truth is, Harold, as you touched on, these companies that are short the market, having to buy back their positions, are getting hammered. We're seeing a free market in silver as a result. $100 silver many years ago, obviously that was a number far, far away, but as we approach 50, it's a number that is getting to be more and more realistic as we go forward.
You better believe it, Randy. Again, it's an unbelievable thing, and again, I know how, with the state of the economy, not only in the United States, but worldwide. I mean, you've got the sovereign debt situation in Europe. You've got several countries there going bankrupt. The United States is $14 trillion in the hole, and nothing is changing. I mean, they haven't changed their spending habits, so nothing's changing. The thing is that when the news came out about the debt rating for the United States, the market dropped 124 points. But the market is, the stock market is so high at this point, and just explain this. I mean, it makes zero sense to me whatsoever that 3 weeks ago, the U.S. government was about to close down because they couldn't afford to pay their debts. They were going to let 800,000 people go. They were going to, they were not even going to pay the military. What a slap in the face that is. These people put their lives on the line for the country and weren't even going to get paid. But the bottom line is that the stock market kept on going up. How in the world does the stock market go up when your country's going bankrupt? It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. That's why I put so little credence in what's happening with stocks right now. You know, back in 1999 when the Dow Jones dropped and the NASDAQ dropped and all the com companies went out of business, that's when Nortel dropped from $125 down to 50 cents. I mean, that happened back in 1999 and wiped out most people. Then in 2008, with the Lehman situation and the mortgage problems, and the stock market dropped from 14,000 down to 6,500. I mean, again, it wiped out everybody. Now we're right back to the same situation, extremely high stock prices, people not paying attention to the reality of the marketplace and the reality of what's really happening. There's no way in the world that the U.S. economy or any economy can continue to grow with oil prices well over $100 and inflation coming. It's just going to be a stagnant economy, and people are going to suffer if you're not properly invested. If you've got hard assets, gold and silver and diamonds, you're going to get through this. And again, the proof is in just what's happened in the last 10 years, 40,000 into 460,000. That would not have happened if there was not a reason for gold and silver to go up. So again, don't look at the stock market at this particular point as the be-all, end-all. In actual fact, it's something that has destroyed most people's wealth because they don't pay attention. And people with a lot of money just think that the stock market is always going to do the right thing. But at this point here, I have zero money in the stock market at all, nor do I have any intention of putting money into that market until the market bottoms out at probably about 5,000.
The telephone number to invest in precious metals, 1-866-623-2002. Harold, the only company that he recommends worldwide precious metals, the website wwpmc.com, wwpmc.com, the telephone number 1-866-623-2002. Call them. They'll put you on the list as well for our free weekly newsletter. In our newsletter, we have a story. It's a must-read. They talk about that the gold priced in silver edges ever closer to the natural ratio found in the Earth's crust, and that is 18 to 1 more silver than gold. And if we did, and here we are today at about 33, 32 to 1. About a year ago, we were 70 to 1. So if we got into a scenario where we had around 15 or 20 to 1, to give you an idea, on $1,650 gold, which is about $150 more from where we are today. If the ratio continues to improve at 20 to 1, it would be $82.50 silver. 15 to 1 would be $110. If we got to $2,000 gold, 20 to 1 would be $100, and 15 to 1, $133. So you can see that the gold to silver ratio is improving in silver's favor. It is outperforming. And coming up in the second half of the show, John Embry actually came out and he listed why he believes silver is moving. We will talk about that as well. We're going to talk about diamonds. It was an amazing week for information on diamonds. Some of the best information we've had in a long time. We're going to talk about it. But remember, to invest in precious metals, the telephone number, 1-866-623-2002. The website is wwpmc.com. We're going to come back and talk about diamonds as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show April 21, 2011 at approximately 9:06 in the morning Mountain Time, 11:06 Eastern Time. Show runs on AM 640 in Toronto, 630 CHED in Edmonton. Also via the internet on Harold's website, HESradio.com, all around the world. You can listen to us on the web. If you ever miss a show, the shows are archived there. To invest in precious metals, there's only one company that Harold recommends, that is Worldwide Precious Metals. The website, wwpmc.com. You can connect with them there or go to 1-866-623-2002. Call that number, and they will explain the ins and outs of investing in precious metals. 1-866-623-2002. The website, wwpmc.com. Harold's website for diamonds, investing in diamonds, is rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Harold brought it to us about 6 years ago, and investment diamonds have been on fire over that period of time. On his website is the Rare Colored Diamonds, and this is proprietary, historical value tracker system. It's a tool for you to view the potential future value of rare colored diamonds based on the current market trend of a particular type of diamond, whether it be pink or blue or green, yellow, whatever it may be, it is there. You can also watch a BTV interview. Business Television here in Canada did an interview on Harold and his business, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. You can watch the video on his website at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. We also have the featured diamond of the week. This is a very rare 0.22 carat square emerald cut fancy deep pink argyle diamond. The clarity is VS2. Fancy deep pinks are extremely rare, almost red in color, and the square emerald cut is amongst the rarest cuts of diamonds there are around, and Harold highly recommends this diamond as an investment diamond, and you can speak to him about rare colored diamonds via rarecoloreddiamonds.com or the telephone number 1-800-432-1022. And Harold, I'll turn it over to you, but it was really a week where people should get the newsletter from you, the diamond section in particular, because we have amazing quotes and stories about pink diamonds and the diamond market in general.
You bet, and that's what we've been recommending. And as good as the recommendation was on silver and gold and oil and currencies, that's how good the recommendation is on diamonds. In actual fact, we feel over the next 5 years that our clients that are in the rare colored diamond market with us are going to do tremendously well. You see, rare colored diamonds are so rare that the ratio between white diamonds and colored diamonds is 50,000 to 1. It takes 50,000 carats of white diamonds just to find one colored diamond. It takes 1 million carats of white diamonds to find one pink diamond. That's how rare these diamonds are. Do you realize that 90% of all pink diamonds are under 1/4 of a carat? Again, these are amongst the rarest diamonds in the world, and 95% of them come from one mine, the Argyle mine in Australia. And that mine is going to close down, so there goes 95% of the world's pink diamonds. And the prices are starting to escalate tremendously. In fact, these type of diamonds increase by about 25% a year, which on its own is a phenomenal investment. However, when this mine closes, which will probably be by 2016 in that time frame, so we're talking 5 years from now, give it 2 years for the diamonds to run out, these diamonds could increase 10 times what today's prices are. In actual fact, a diamond you could buy for, let's say, $30,000 could turn out to be a $250,000 to $300,000 diamond when the mine closes, and we do believe that that will happen because we experienced very similar price movements with blue diamonds when the same phenomenon happened. The Cullinan mine closed in South Africa, and blue diamonds went from $200,000 to $2 million in 6 years. So again, we're very, very excited about the Argyle mine. They produce the most beautiful pink diamonds in the world, and many of my clients now hold these very valuable diamonds. They're amongst the best investments you could ever make. If you buy them for retirement, you'll retire very comfortably with these. You put them away for 10 years or longer, and these diamonds just keep on going up and up and up. And the other thing about them, they're so beautiful. We're coming out with our own line of jewelry called the Argyle Dream Collection. These are the most beautiful rings and necklaces and for our clients. And basically, when you put an amazing Argyle pink diamond and then all platinum and diamond matching band, I mean, not only will you have tremendous pride of ownership and enjoy, putting this beautiful ring on your wife or your sweetie's finger, but the fact is, when we send this diamond to auction and we auction this diamond off, they go for a fortune, especially when they're set in rings and necklaces. So we're extremely excited about this. These are very, very difficult diamonds to get. In fact, the general public will very seldom ever get to see an Argyle pink diamond unless you go into a very high-end jewelers like Harry Winston's or Graf's, where you'll pay 3 to 4 times through a retailer what you will through us. We're wholesalers that only deal with private investors, and over 80% of all the diamonds that I sell worldwide go to our Canadian clients. So our Canadian clients are holding on to some of the most beautiful pink diamonds. Now, what's happening right now with Argyle that we feel that the mine is going to close early is their production is dropping substantially. In actual fact, last quarter, there was very few high-quality diamonds that came out of the mine at all. So the fact is that less and less of these diamonds on the market, the prices continue to go higher and higher.